Welcome to MojoPlays, and today we're jumping into various games to find the 20 most disturbing locations in video games. Horror games, adventure games, sports games, disturbing locations aren't isolated to Silent Hill, but we'll get there. Before we continue, we publish content all week long, so be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to get notified of our latest videos. The House. In 2014, I wasn't dying to get my hands on a PS4. I wanted one, but there was no rush. That wasn't until I heard about PT. Once I knew there was a playable teaser for a future Silent Hill game, I finished the graveyard shift of my factory job at 7 o'clock in the morning and drove straight to Target to sleep in the car park until the store opened at 8 and I could buy one. If you've ever played or even just watched a playthrough of the truly remarkable PT, that unsettling L-shaped corridor where the game unfolds likely still haunts you. Beyond the eerie sounds, haunting visuals, and sudden appearances of Lisa, the real terror of this setting lies in its simplicity. The Rat King's Lair.
That's good.
The level begins like any other mission in The Last of Us, with players sneaking into a pitch-dark area teeming with infected, searching for crucial medical supplies. We were all thinking the same thing: please don't let a bloater appear. Just as you find what you need, the Rat King reveals itself, trapping you inside an ambulance and leaving players thinking the same thing: Jesus, I wish that had just been a bloater that appeared.
Come on! Oh, piece of shit!
The end. Disturbing locations aren't exclusive to horror games, like we said, because Minecraft introduced a super unsettling location in the form of the End. Beyond one of the teleporters that appears after defeating the dragon, players can use an Ender Pearl to access the Outer End. Here, they'll find themselves in a vast, eerie landscape filled with Endermen and chorus fruit trees. Accompanied by one of Minecraft's longest soundtracks, this seemingly desolate world is ripe for exploration. The Mortuary. Here's a fantastic recent entry to throw in for our list, and it's a doozy. The Mortuary Assistant puts you in the role of, you guessed it, a mortuary assistant, prepping and preparing bodies after death. The mortuary, however, has some serious issues with hauntings and demons, making it damn near impossible to get your work done. The encounters with the otherworldly creatures are randomized and terrifying, keeping the player constantly on their toes and ready for danger at any moment. St. Sybil High School. Outlast 2 is packed with terrifying moments and unsettling imagery, but nothing quite compares to the horror of St. Sybil High School. The stark contrast between the northern Arizona village and this location is striking and is especially scary, as it almost seems like reprieve from the brutality and darkness we're constantly experiencing in this game. Neither is a place you want to linger in, but St. Sybil unfolds a truly dark narrative that will turn even the hardest of players into uncomfortable messes.
Jessica?
Oh, sorry,
What are the two of you doing in here?
I'm sorry, Father Loudermilk. We stayed after school for journal? We were just leaving.
Let's step back into class, please.
Blake?
You're not in trouble yet, Blake. You don't want to get in trouble, do you?
Just stay with me.
The Windmill Village. Located in the Altus Plateau, Dominula, the Windmill Village is one of the most unsettling locations in all of Soulsborne. As players ascend through the village, they'll encounter dozens of women dancing and laughing, eerily oblivious to the player's presence unless provoked. Think The Hills Have Eyes mixed with the village, mixed with the worst third-grade dance competition you were ever dragged to. The villagers' laughter creates an unnerving atmosphere, especially after you learn that they're waiting to skin you and sacrifice you. Maybe if they were hot, I'd consider it. That's so stupid. The Shadow Temple. Another on our list that isn't from a horror game, the Shadow Temple from Ocarina of Time is so unnerving that it infamously was the quitting point for a lot of players. The theme for this dungeon is a spine-chilling track that perfectly complements the creepy scenes. The dungeon is filled with traps, torture devices, and prison cells, making it truly unsettling. Along the way, players will encounter a variety of monstrous creatures. Some, like the Dead Hand, may evoke nostalgic memories of terror when the worst thing you could possibly conjure in your brain was the idea of getting grabbed by something. Titan Elementary School. Here's a formula that has proven successful since the dawn of horror. Horror game plus elementary school equals terror. The Titan Elementary School's brightly lit front door and child-friendly appearance in Dead Space 2 starkly contrast with the ominous surroundings, making it all the more unsettling. Upon entering, everything seems harmless until you spot a woman in a nearby room calling over a grotesque, worm-like baby that suddenly explodes, covering the room in viscera. Trust me, it only gets worse from there. Quit, turn the console off, go play Stardew Valley. SCP Foundation.
Just follow me. Oh, and by the way, we're authorized to kill any disobedient test subjects, so don't try anything stupid.
For those unfamiliar, the SCP Foundation is dedicated to capturing, containing, and studying a wide array of supernatural entities. When the video game SCP Containment Breach decided to bring this creepypasta to the gaming world, we didn't know what to expect. But with precarious corners, strategically placed blind spots, and narrow claustrophobic corridors, we found out we were in for an absolute nightmare. The Bunker. Amnesia is one of the most beloved horror series of all time, and Amnesia's latest installment elevates its established horrors to new heights. Danger lurks in the shadows of Amnesia the Bunker's bunker, as a bloodthirsty creature prowls after brutally slaughtering the player's comrades. Now, it's a solitary battle for survival, a recipe for truly terrifying encounters. Equipped with a trusty light source that recharges with a loud cranking handle, players can choose to proceed cautiously or chaotically. I don't really choose, it just always ends up being both. Deepnest. Throughout Hollow Knight, the player encounters a few gross locations, and just when players believe the enchanting world of Hollownest has revealed all its secrets, they're thrown into the nightmarish depths of Deepnest. Infested with large, scuttling bugs, treacherous death traps, and the constant need for a light source, Deepnest is rightly dreaded by many. Navigating this area is notoriously challenging, requiring players to be vigilant about their path and capable of retracing their steps to avoid getting lost in its labyrinth-like structure. Deepnest is a deep pain in my deep anus. Shopping mall. Upon entering the abandoned shopping mall plaza of Condemned, you're immediately confronted with mannequins in the distance. Side note, developers, chill with mannequins. I don't like it. From that moment on, every mannequin scattered throughout the plaza becomes a potential threat, ready to spring to life at any second. You might think surviving this ordeal marks the end of the nightmare, but you'd be gravely mistaken. Without giving too much away, the level's final sequence is one of the most terrifying and unforgettable horror moments in gaming history. And I played it when I was 11, so sack up and get on it. Vault 11.
Last tape, last message. In case you best me.
Every vault in Fallout has its own terrifying story, but Vault 11 in Fallout New Vegas is one of the worst and a chilling example of social experimentation. The residents were forced to sacrifice one person each year, chosen by vote, or the entire vault would be executed. Initially, the residents complied, but over time, they rebelled against the system, refusing to make a sacrifice. When no one was chosen, the vault's AI revealed that non-compliance was the actual test, rewarding them for their refusal with freedom. However, only 5 survivors were left by then, traumatized by their actions. In a final recording, we hear all but one survivor kill themselves, implying that out there in the world could be one man who saw it all.
Greetings, martyr, and welcome. If you're here now, it means you've been offered up as a sacrifice so that your vault can continue to thrive.
Sevastopol Station. Despite the Alien movies providing developers with a strong foundation for a successful game, many early titles struggled to capture their essence. It wasn't until Alien Isolation, set on Sevastopol Station, that the franchise's true potential was realized. This game was an accidental purchase for me and turned out to be one of the best horror games I've ever played. Also, sidebar, when I was 15, I also accidentally bought Far Cry 3 thinking it was Fallout 3 and was also accidentally introduced to an amazing series. Anyways, the dark, empty corridors of Sevastopol Station and oppressive silence heightens the tension, making you dread any sound, knowing it could signal the aliens' approach.
Someone will be with you shortly.
No wonder Seegson is losing the tech race.
The Factory. Inside is a highly acclaimed game known for its strange world and eerie atmosphere. Players are captivated from beginning to end as they solve puzzles and navigate the intricate environment. One of the game's most striking locations is the Factory, where players fall through a wooden plank and must quickly adapt to their new predicament. Here, they must mimic the movements of mind-controlled workers while being watched by a drone with a powerful searchlight. There is no more terrifying setting than trying to blend in when you are the only one faking. Everything around you is an enemy. Aperture Science Enrichment Center. Portal introduced us to the Aperture Enrichment Center, the location of the entire game, where you, playing as Shell, must run the course of testing the Portal device in various gauntlets. The eeriness of the situation is heightened by the absence of any evidence of the hundreds or even thousands of people who suffered in these rooms before you arrived. And on top of this, if it's true the dead individuals are actually encased inside the companion cubes, the Enrichment Center is likely haunted by numerous vengeful spirits. Overall, that. The House. My personal choice for the best horror game of all time is Visage. Widely acclaimed as a successful spiritual successor to PT, it earns this title easily. The game has a unique ability to both frustrate and immerse players in the madness that defines its house setting. It's nearly impossible to play for extended periods without taking breaks, mental and pee. Every room in the house is designed to terrify, with features like self-closing doors, static-filled radios, and creaking floors contributing to an incredibly haunting experience. I've never experienced a more consistently chilling playthrough in all my years of gaming. The hospital. The hospital, which players encounter midway through Little Nightmares 2, is as terrifying as gaming experiences get. As players enter this area, the ominous presence of mannequins in the shadows foreshadows the danger ahead. Armed with only a flashlight and a great deal of bravery, players must navigate through the dilapidated building to advance. Once the squeaky, very scary looking mannequins come to life, that's when things go from creepy to throw your console in the bin scary. House Beneviento. With Resident Evil 7 bringing us back to the series' scary origins, some players were left a little uncertain when Resident Evil Village seemed to have taken a step back to the action-driven gameplay that almost killed the series years prior. Given time, players realized we were getting the perfect blend between Resident Evil 4 and 7, and once House Beneviento came into the picture, we didn't miss the horror anymore. This sequence is masterfully paced and meticulously designed, beginning with the player exploring an eerily quiet house that soon reveals a doll maker's workshop, only to be plunged into darkness. The tension and paranoia escalate to unbearable levels as the environment grows increasingly hostile. Also, the giant fetus is something I'll never forget. The town itself. Whether you're delving into the groundbreaking early Silent Hill games or their later, less polished successors, one thing remains constant: you'll traverse the foggy streets of this once peaceful vacation town. And no matter the quality of the game, each visit will keep you on edge. Silent Hill is such a beautifully crafted environment that it's shocking nobody had done something like this already, as the formula seems stupidly simple yet effective. Originally a solution to technical constraints, the thick fog that shrouds the city becomes a defining feature of the game's design, intensifying the already intense sense of dread. Silent Hill 2 maybe offers the best example of how terrifying this town can be, and uses its established locations by far the best. Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from MojoPlays and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified of our latest videos.